Alright, right now we're going to be talking about how to make your own sanding discs for your Dremel. Okay, um, it's not just cheaper and faster and easier if you have to go to the store, but you can customize them a lot easier. They seem to only come in fairly small sizes, and they go quick whether you make them or they do. So, let me show you real quick here how we make these. Need some thicker stuff right now. Okay, so you're going to back it with some tape, and I like to use duct tape. This is just a white duct tape. It's nice thick stuff. And but you can use packing tape, the clear stuff, or I've even used painter's tape, masking tape, whatever. You can double it up if you want, and you can also you can make two, and you can double side them. That'll make it stronger and also give you a little bit of and you can use the underside of it, but if you're sticking it, your little crevice that you're trying to get into, you can stick it in there. Okay, so you'd be amazed at how little precision you can use to make these. You know, you might think, oh my god, it needs to be right in the center of the hole, and it needs to be a perfect circle. And that's what I did at first, but then I got sloppier and sloppier. And you know, if you've used the real ones, you know that they eventually will fly off anyway. Okay, this is about a medium-sized one for me, actually. You can make them bigger, and it's actually nice. You get a lot more surface area, and it's also much more flexible, because you can have it bending, and it'll still spin at a high speed and work out pretty good. So what I do here is, I don't need it. Okay, so you have your little mandrel, you take that off. If you make it too thick or you just can't get it through, poke a hole with a needle, you can start it, but what I started to do is I just use my mandrel screw, which actually has a little bit of a point on it anyway. But that part right there, the right around the mandrel screw, that's going to be the weakest point, actually. So if you're doubling up with duct tape or anything, then you want to put a few other bits around it. That's where you want to do it, is right around where that is, because that's actually where you'll see them come apart. Sometimes it won't tear apart. This is on your homemade ones and the ones that you buy. You know, you'll go find the sanding disc across the room, and the hole will be the size of the head of the screw. So, and you can actually reuse them. You just put some tape back on there and do whatever. Okay, and you know, screw it back on there. Alright, get that tight on there. It's ready to go. I'll just show you so you believe me somewhat. Okay, you can see, you know, works great. You can use your different grits. And you can see, you watched me do that. I didn't measure it or anything. See, it's not a perfect circle at all. Really doesn't matter. The only time you really want, the only time you really need a perfect circle is if you're going to be getting into edges. This will generally work, but if you're sticking that corner into edges, it'll come apart quicker when it's not real perfect. But it's not too big of a deal. Okay, the other thing is that when you're choosing your grit, when it goes onto the Dremel, it's not like doing it by hand. It'll be like, you know, maybe 3 or 4 times as strong. You know, like, what a smooth grit might be by hand will be a much coarser grit once it's on here. It'll really take off surface. You can just about sculpt wood if you're using something like a 220 or under, and it's really takes it off fast. And in fact, I won't go all the way with the Dremel, even with the fine sandpaper, because it just does it too fast to get in there by hand. So there you go. Have fun.